One to go, one to go. One lap to go. Thanks, good. Rebel Ronald, super late, lap one. Team Shies has a nice sprint too, so a little bit of cotton mouth saying no now. Because they're playing for my position. Here's our field sprint. So Ryan Roth, we know he's the winner. We're looking for our 12th place, which is going to be Jerry Holden. We're looking now to see who our M1 winner is going to be. So there we have it. And Anton, we're looking for an M1 ride. Key. So Steve McKee is going to win the M1 title. Justin Rogers and Ryan Roth, the race winner. Schiller, pro cycling. So a big hand for Mark Brouwer. Second place is the Tour de Italia. For the same cycling, Mark Brouwer. Third place, he's going to make it 8 podiums on Erie Street. Third place, the two wheels, Jeff Schiller. A great ride and forward by Benjamin Schroot. Paul Martin, our 5-time winner, 5th place. All right, so we heard the conclusion of the 2018 Tour de Italia in our Pro 1-2 M1 Elite race. So we got top 3, and we've got a familiar face up here, and we're going to start with him. And he was actually in that same seat last year in 3rd place, his 8th podium at the Tour de Italia. So Jeff Schiller, another podium at the Tour de Italia. So we broke down last year's 3rd place. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a blast to come to Erie Street and race. The community definitely supports the atmosphere here, and it's great to have the crowd, and thanks to all the volunteers and the organizer as well.
So let's talk a little bit about the race itself. You saw Ryan get across to that front group, and I know you're pretty good at knowing when the alarm bells have to ring, so you put it down. That group you were in, there was that group of 4 ahead. What happened there? You guys just couldn't make that little junction initially.
Yeah, I think there was a group of 3 of us and Ryan bridged across, and we lost a guy early. It was myself and the guy from First Internet Bank. And Ryan, you were pulling pretty strong there, and just got a little bit of a gap, and away he went. So the guy from First Internet and I were just surviving at that point. So Mark bridged across, and we tried to roll it back, but Ryan was gone. So
at about what point did you realize we're not seeing Ryan again?
I think once he got about 15 or 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a guy you want to give much rope to, right? So
for sure.
Okay, so bring us into the finish. Things got a little muddled there, but you guys were way back from them. But the field, we finished early, and then you came in with that group for the finish. Now, Mark slips up the road there. Any thoughts of chasing after him?
Yeah, I thought a few other people from the group would chase that down, or at least chase Mark, and nobody did. So I just waited as long as possible to use my power to try and get away, and luckily for me, it worked to get 3rd, but not enough to get to 2nd. So it was a little chaotic in the last lap there.
Yeah. Well, that gives you 8 podiums at this race. That matches Paul Martin. I know he has a few more wins, but still 8 podiums, very impressive. We thank you for coming down here again with your team. So we're going to hand it over to our 2nd place finisher, Mark Brouwer. So Mark, I don't know if you know it, but I was riding up the Grand Fondo in Blue Water with you up there, and you were looking pretty strong out there. But obviously today you were out there a long time. You're in some moves early. So tell us about the start of the race and then the end of the race.
Well, at the start of the race, I wasn't feeling that great, and just thought it's the last race of the year. I'm fairly high up in the standings. Just got to try to, see how the legs feel and do what I can do, and that's all you can do. And I followed some moves early on, and I think about 45 minutes in, we had a good break of 3 of us, and I knew it wasn't going to come completely back together, and just did everything I could to get to the finish.
So when Ryan slipped away, any reaction, or just like, yeah, I'm not going with that?
Yeah, no. When he left, he had about 5 pedal strokes, and I knew we weren't going to see him again.
Yeah.
It was, we were all I think we were all suffering, and he was just on another level today.
So at the end, was that a planned slip off the front, or did it just kind of happen?
Well, a few guys bridged up to the group of us, and one of my teammates was in there, so I didn't want him to have to do anything. So I was pretty suffering from the day's efforts, and I just thought I want to keep the pace high. So as soon as it would lull, I would attack with about 3 laps to go. And I think the second or third attack, it stuck, and I wasn't feeling good, but I just, put my head down and did everything I could and didn't look back, and surprised myself.
Well, you did pretty good for not feeling good. So great job. Good day for Ascent. So we're going to hand it over to our race winner, Ryan Roth. So Ryan, I reached out to you a little while ago, see what you were doing. You weren't sure what the schedule was going to be. You got back to me a couple weeks ago and told me you were coming down. We're really excited. Just coming off the Colorado Classic. So talk to us a little bit about that coming off the Colorado Classic. It can go one of two ways, right? You race at altitude, you can come back feeling good, or you can come back feeling a little drained from it. So how was that experience for you?
Yeah, it was only a 4-day race, so I was, have a little bit of kind of acute fatigue, but a couple of days easy, and I was starting to feel pretty good after that, yeah.
Okay, now you made the move. There was a group of 3, right? And you went across to them, I believe?
Correct, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
This guy?
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, I think Ben
one of those
Schmidt
American
from
guys.
First Internet. So tell us, to me it seemed pretty early. I mean, raw horsepower. I know you don't want to take this guy to the line, but it seemed fairly early. But did you just sense a little fatigue in that group and think it's time to go?
In hindsight, it was not too early, but it definitely felt long. Yeah, it was kind of just, I felt like it's hard to get off the front sometimes in these races for a guy like me. So when I was there, I said I have to commit to this, even though it felt a bit long. Ideally, I would have got more out of the other 3. But, you kind of have to improvise sometimes, yeah. And
tell me about, so we doubled up our crowd preen this year. We raised $1,000. How did that look when you came through and saw $1,000?
If this is all I get, then that's more than enough, yeah.
Yeah, I think at that point we knew you were pretty good. Once you had 30 seconds, I don't think they were bringing you back. So what's the future of the season for you at this point?
As far as I know, this is my last road race. I might keep going a couple more weeks and do the track nationals on the velodrome.
Right.
But yeah, as far as road racing, I think this is it for me.
Yeah. Well, we're very happy to have you down, and you lived up to your billing coming in the race. We want to give you a big congratulations. So another big congrats to our 2018 champion, Ryan Roth, and we hope to see these guys back here again next year. So we thank everyone for coming out today. A big day out here on Erie Street, always a big atmosphere. And we'll settle down for a week, and then we'll start working on the 2019 edition. So thank you very much.